Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan from ChartGuys.com. You know, behind every single video that we put out every single day, there's a wonderful community of traders that we want to invite you to be a part of. Try the free 7-day trial and gain access to our live market broadcasts every morning and afternoon, interact with hundreds of like-minded traders, or take part in one of our dedicated chat rooms, each led by an analyst that's there to answer your questions in real time. Our trial is risk-free with absolutely no commitment or credit card required to experience the TCG community. For those looking for a head start in technical analysis, check out our entries and exits course in the link below in the description. Get up to speed with the fundamentals of TCG technical analysis and experience over 5 hours of great community-driven trading education. Checking in on SPY IWM and QQQ. So on Friday, the middle Bollinger Band came into play, and we had a scenario where we had an inside bar on the daily time frame from Thursday, and we broke that inside bar bearish, but I did not act on that signal, and that was taking in other factors into the scenario, being that middle Bollinger Band. We had not tested that middle Bollinger Band since the bounce from that Trump dump in mid-May began, so I wanted to give the bulls a chance to test that level and hold it, and I was confident that they would hold it, as on the 5-minute RSI, we were pretty much oversold as we hit that level, and that's where the low of the day ended up being. So that low was down at 242.47, and the middle Bollinger Band 242.44. So the bulls defending that level, forming a fairly decent bullish candlestick on the day, but not convincing. So the past 3 days, we've essentially got a range. The resistance is very clear: 243, 59, 53, and 51. The high of the past 3 days, right in the same area, and the middle Bollinger Band support is continuing to ascend. So to start next week, we have a couple days where we're going to be watching for either a break of those resistances, which will have us looking to the all-time high, or a loss of the middle Bollinger Band, which will be a red flag to the bulls in the short term, and will have us looking at these higher lows, 241.18 and 240.78 as levels of support that are going to be tested. So it's all about that triple top of resistance and which breaks first to start next week. Weekly time frame for SPY, the bulls are still absolutely in control. Need to zoom in here a bit, but we're riding the exponential moving average support to the upside. We are contained by the upper Bollinger Band 3 out of the last 4 weeks, but the bulls are still very much in control and looking just fine here. There's no red flags on the weekly longer term time frame whatsoever. And really, this weekly longer term time frame is going to give us indications when things are changing significantly, which I don't foresee anytime soon, because we've been above this middle Bollinger Band. We haven't even tested it since November. So that's going to be a key indication for me, just like the daily time frame. Lose the middle Bollinger Band, it's a red flag, and we start to make note, but otherwise, bulls in control. So IWM, increase in bull volume, nice follow through from the bullish candlestick the previous day, and we're looking up at 141.58 as resistance, closing near the high of the day, showing strength for those bulls. And if we can break that resistance level, we're looking right back to that all-time high. So after pulling back, seeing a little lower high, lower low, bulls trying to regain momentum. And the weekly time frame here as well, in control, exponential support, a little bit contained by the upper Bollinger Band, and keeping those bulls in control. We're on the verge of a bullish MACD cross, so we could see further continuation if we can. This needs to be the low. 139.01 needs to be the level that holds for the next 2 weeks plus. We can't break this level, otherwise it's a setback, and the momentum does shift to favor the bears on the daily time frame. If we can hold that level and continue forward here, the bulls are going to see a new all-time high, essentially. So that is now the must-hold level, and we'll see if we get the continuation that the close near the high of the day on Friday does indicate is more likely than not. QQQ on the daily time frame, making a more clear bull break after rejecting from the middle Bollinger Band daily resistance 6 times in the last 8 days. So a bullish close there. The volume's still not there. We've seen declining volume now 7 days in a row. Look for a spike in that volume. Look for a break of that pattern and which direction that does occur. So we're on the verge of a bullish MACD cross if we can continue climbing to the upside. Support is 140.15 and 139.31. Resistance is 141.42 and the all-time high. So the fact that we're entering this space now is bullish because there is no resistance until that all-time high. So the bulls have some momentum. We just need the volume there to back it up. Tech sector saw the same move. Volume wasn't very convincing. Follow-through wasn't very convincing. And watching the break for the volume pattern. QQQ on the weekly, 2 weeks of pullback, very high volume. Looked like things were going to change. Looked like the trend was going to turn a bit, but it did not. The bulls are buying this dip, and we are looking back at the all-time high as we hold exponential support as we have all of 2017 going forward. So bulls still in control on all these daily time frames. Very tight pattern to be watching on SPY first thing next week. We'll keep checking back in as always. Have a great rest of your weekend.